If you assume without having the conversation, what is the point between two people where at least one of them usually assumes that they're in a relationship with the other? Is it after somebody first smile at somebody? Is it after the first flirt? Greetings to all the souls out there. This is your goddess angel of Kismet coming to you with a podcast titled My Brother's Rules. Yes, our guest today is someone that's very near and dear to me, my very own brother. His name is DeAngelo, and DeAngelo, say hello.
How y'all doing out there?
Thank you for being here. I intend to prod and pry with some good questions, good juicy questions. If there's a mutual understanding that both people are attracted to each other.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that conversation, because I'm the one speaking on being open so that people know where they stand before you can just say that I'm going to commit
If you
to
on
a person
conscience,
that you don't even know well enough yet. You know, that's what the dating process is for.
Yeah.
So we only have so much time here
That's true.
on Earth. And if we close ourselves off, I understand. That's what I'm saying. I understand that there may be other interests, before two people decide that they're going to be exclusive. But there are people out there who don't get that. If you don't have the conversation, because not everybody does, you know that there are women out there who just assume that there's something deeper between them and the guy without having the conversation. If you assume without having the conversation, in general, what is the point between two people where at least one of them usually assumes that they're in a relationship with the other? Is it after somebody first smile at somebody? Is it after the first flirt? Is it after the first date?
It would
Is
have
it
to be
after 5 dates? Is it after?
To me, it would have to be something that you guys established and actually said to each other. Because I'm not going to assume anything.
That's you and that's me.
Like, I'm not about to assume anything.
But
we're not saying what's going down. I'm not about to assume that. And that's where some women may get mad at me. Like, hey, look, we may have been flirting and everything else, but I'm not about to assume that you just want me to come over here and talk to you all the time. We're friends. Don't get me wrong, just because I flirted a couple times, I mean, hey, if I went fishing and flirted a couple times, I ain't hear nothing back. I mean, I'm not about to keep hitting my head against the wall. I'm going to find another spot.
But what if you do hear something back? What if you hung out with a person all day for how many days to make it that you guys are, without talking about it,
It's great because
are in
I would still feel like somebody we would have to make that established conversation. Like, I don't do assumptions with that right there. And like, assuming things, in my experience, that isn't always a good thing. Assuming that sometimes, and I thought I was going one way and was actually going another way. Like, for instance, I was flirting with some chick at work one of these times.
Okay, there we go. Here we go. Some
And,
juicy.
We cool as heck. You know, like, we kicked it outside of work maybe a couple times, helped out with the family here and there, but like, it was all friend stuff. So even though The moment she got single, because she was talking, she did have a dude and everything. The moment she got single, shot my shot. Went to see what's going on. Set up when I got some gifts or whatnot. And come to find out, my assumption was wrong. You know, and with that assumption being wrong, neither did the mutual friend nor she tell me that the assumption was wrong.
What was it that you assumed?
Technically speaking, it wasn't assuming that we were together, but assuming that I had a shot. That's the assumption. That's the assumption.
That's good.
Assuming that I had a shot.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, I didn't have a shot.
But she was
She was still hung up on whoever she was talking to.
That's right.
That does nothing right. Not one thing right. I could tell you their whole life story and everything else, but not my business. But and either way, like I went and did that and found everything out after the fact because boss pulled me to the side. I was like, hey, you know, one of them gifts still sitting right here. I'm like, dang, okay, well, ain't no big deal. I could go sell them over at what's the name? It was some gifts for shoes for her son. And either way, when that happened, I'm like, oh shit, I just give my money back. That worked out, but assumed wrong.
Well, that is a good example on how you handled it maturely.
Oh,
there was nothing in the way that you handled it. There was nothing toxic or negative about it.
I thought about it, maybe wanted to do some things, but you know what I'm saying? Had to look at a higher road. You know, I get that one. I definitely wanted to be a little belligerent on my lips a little bit and say a few crazy stuff.
Well, that's honest. That's honest.
But after thinking about it for a little while there, definitely had to be like, yeah, you ain't worth it. I'm not going down for you. You keep dwelling the well to keep getting bigger, girl. I ain't got time for that.
That's still, it's still a better response than going in the other direction. So.
Yeah, because I could have been childish. Like, hey, homie, look, guess what?
Right.
Let's look at these. You know what I'm saying? No, I ain't do that. I ain't do that.
Does that mean that you're a good guy, DeAngelo?
That's up for assumption for everyone else. I can't answer that.
Okay.
I ain't even about to try that one. I'm arrogant enough.
You're what? Oh, arrogant enough. A lot. Well, I think it's you wouldn't be the only one. Let me just put it that way. Okay, so what would you say that men think is a woman's motive for moving fast to get commitment?
Well, I'm gonna go with that's a list. Be a few things. One, but first off, I'm gonna say when females move fast,